Everything eventually comes to an end, no matter how glorious they seem. All we can do is hold on to the good and beautiful things in this world for a little longer. Artis has achieved things the average person could only dream of. And yet that is how he chose to end his autobiography. However, it is such a thought, a very humane thought, that touches even we ageless modifiers. Everyone, no matter how mighty, faces moments of loneliness.
Not everybody, just you. Don't rope me in.
You are always so serious, Oceanus. Oh, sorry. Catalin. I always call you by your old name. Speaking of old, come to think of it, it's been over a century already. This event that our friend first organized is now being held for the 20th time. Are you still angry about this morning's meeting? The vote was 5-2. This is a council decision. It's not like you to vent your anger to its proposer, Master Oceanus. Your new outfit looks good on you. Made from selected fabrics from Shashvat. Did Enlil help you choose it?
It was a birthday present from last year.
Birthday. My. The word seems so distant. We both know it's nothing more than a pretense.
Enlil is a lot younger than we are. Some days still seem significant to him.
Such an adorable quality in children, isn't it? The same goes for my little girl.
I heard you've also invited Odin's people to the ceremony this year.
Yes, the Society of Muses has a long-running partnership with Aether Gazer, except that Shu will not be attending this year. I've heard they're sending someone else, someone new to the organization, someone called the Administrator, who is apparently a human.
So it's not just the Society of Muses. Aether Gazer has also gone stray.
Yes. Another theft against the associations. And just days before the opening of the ceremony.
This time it's the Society of Music. All the first-class associations were hit, except two, one of which is your Society of Muses.
Looks like we will have to be doubly vigilant then. Evidence shows that there's only one thief, yet the Knights of Convallaria still haven't caught this person. They're also on a downward...
Sorry to interrupt. The door wasn't closed, so I thought...
Please, come in.
Good day, Senator Hades, Senator Catalin.
You might find yourself busy today. Even the commander of the Knights of Convallaria are seeking for your audience.
Actually, I'm here to speak with you, Senator Hades. We would like to request the assistance of the Society of Muses in dealing with the recent art thefts.
Huh?
Of all the Sapphire zones, Amorphes has always had the fewest incidents. Even with all the quakes today, Amorphes has yet to record a significant one. Amorphes art commands a high price, particularly when sold in other zones through the photon rail system. It has been a great source of profit and growth.
Look, Admin! That house was built with actual stones. And look at the floral patterns on the columns. Oh, they're beautiful. Did you make this doll, mister? Admin, can I buy this? Huh? That building is just a restaurant. I've never seen anything like it.
I figured the rookie would be shocked by the wonders of travel, but it turns out that Vare is the one losing her mind.
Excuse me, you're blocking my view of the building. That's all right. Oh, you must not be from Amorphis, right? With your outfit. A wandering traveler from afar on the busy streets. Very good. Ein Sof, is it? I'd prefer a silvery color then. Something metallic, something cold. Fiberglass would be a good choice if you want to look statuesque. Oh, yes, but it's not completed yet. Just need to add the finishing touches. Wind from Stellaris Sea blows over the white walls and arches on the white cliff. The first street it visits is this Democritus Boulevard. This is the oldest street in Amorphis. Every cobblestone seems to have its own story. Every nook and cranny of the city is decorated with artistic flourishes to be studied by any would-be artist, myself included. Definitely not. Not until I pass the exam. In Amorphis, you have to get an official license issued by an art association by the age of 16 to become an officially recognized artist.
What are you doing here? Didn't I tell you to wait for me at the photon rail station?
You're friends of Lady Hera! I'm so sorry. I had no idea. Me? Oh no, I'm just an average citizen. Lady Hera is one of the most famous people in all of Amorphis. I'm one of her biggest fans.
Oh, I see. So, what do you think? It's such a beautiful and interesting place. Here is just an ordinary street in this city. Wait until you see the Society of Muses and Stellaris Academy. Then you'll really understand why Amorphis has been revered for so long.
Lady Hera, I have a copy of True Ladies and Gentlemen that you published last month. Would you autograph it for me? Thank you.
Why are you looking at me like that, esteemed administrator of Aether Gazer? A lady of my stature should never be treated like some commoner. However, it It is unfitting for a fair maiden to deem others as unworthy without just reason. Respect begets respect, and grace begets grace. This is what a fair maiden should keep in mind.
I don't quite understand what you mean, but I guess I learned something.
All right. Let me escort you to our society where you can unpack your bags. It's been late already. I have much to show you about our glorious city. Welcome to Amorphis.
Eugene? No. Navik!
Correct. All the photos are gathered by our intelligence office. Novik has been sighted in multiple Sapphire zones: Shashvat, Sasanami, Nuhanza, Amorphis, and others. I don't know. We considered that he would change his disguise, but he didn't. There may be some limits for a cognizant visbane when it's pretending to be a human, which we are not aware of. Regardless, we now have enough to narrow down the areas he's interested in, whatever that interest might be. I've sent squads to the zones where he was most active before your arrival. There's just one more zone to look at: Amorphis.
Amorphis. Ah, yes! That's where Lady Hera lives.
Good memory. This is an invitation to the Quinquennial Artists' Ceremony, the greatest art ceremony in Amorphis. It was sent in the name of the Society of Muses and delivered by Hera. The ceremony starts in just a few days. I think it's a good opportunity for you to start your investigation. Honestly, Amorphis is the least likely target among all potential targets. We don't want to raise eyebrows unnecessarily. Also, those modifiers in Amorphis will be very busy these days. It should be enough to keep an eye out for unusual events while you're there.
We're here.
This is someone's house? It's massive!
At least half of the building is. The lobby is used for society work and exams. As the society has grown less busy over the years, more household items have been moved in. Feel free to look around, but do not touch any of these priceless artifacts. Most are irreplaceable.
Look, Admin! This place is guarded by armored knights! They are so cool.
Huh?
Who are you? What business do you have with the Society of Muses?
Are you here for certification business or the exam? Do you have an appointment? Sign in here.
Hold on. I should be the one asking questions here. Who are you?
We are the Knights of Convallaria.
That's obvious enough. I mean, what business do you have in my home, and why are you harassing my guests?
Well, our orders come directly from the commander. She issued an order that from today onward, we would take over all security details of all associations.
Ugh, I should have known it would be Athena.
Lady Hera, I'm so sorry. As a member of the Society of Muses, of course there's no need for you to register.
Let's go.
Excuse me. These two must stay for a while longer.
Starting today, all visitors to any association must file a formal application to the Knights of Convallaria, particularly suspicious individuals. That is, those from other Sapphira zones.
Huh? We're suspicious? Allow me to reiterate. They are guests of the Society of Muses.
We're just following orders, milady. Let's escort them to headquarters to verify their identity with the commander first.
Understood.
Wait! We have an invitation from the Society of Muses. We're not suspicious individuals.
This does not look like an official document to me. We will release you immediately after verifying your identity, assuming there are no issues. Until that time, the Knights of Convallaria will be providing you with alternative living arrangements.
How dare you! This is outrageous. To insult my guests is to insult me.
I'm sorry, Lady Hera. We have orders from the commander. Please do not try to intervene.
We are sorry for this.
Minta, are we really going to just watch?
Do you think we should get involved, Luke?
Luke doesn't know. I don't recognize these two.
But Lady Hera is the one fighting there.
Then Luke thinks we should probably just help Lady Hera.
All right, after preparing Lady Hades' afternoon tea.
Does Minta think the tea is more important?
Don't you, Luke?
Luke is not sure. Whatever Minta thinks.
Learned any manners yet?
Hold the line! For the duty and honor of Convallaria!
You are simply disobedient, stubborn children. Just like your commander.
Enough! Stop!
Commander! And Senator Hades, we were...
Just getting a lesson in manners.
Return to base now.
But she... Understood, Commander. We'll be on our way then.
I see the approaching ceremony has you so busy that you cannot control your subordinates, Athena. How did the Knights of Convallaria, once shining examples of Amorphe's grace and elegance, become crude ruffians out to kidnap Muse's guests. Astonishing.
I'm the one who ordered the knights here, and I only applied to the council orally last night, which is why there has been no formal notification. But I do admit they have some flaws in the execution of their duties. I hereby apologize on behalf of the Knights of Convallaria.
Athena, these guests are partners of our society, and they received their ceremony invitations long ago. Besides, they just arrived this morning, so they obviously have nothing to do with the thefts.
Understood. I hope that the previous experience was not too traumatic to your honored guests.
All right. It was all just a simple misunderstanding. I've seen this sort of thing many times during my years at the Society. Let's move on. What do you say, Hera?
All right. Whatever Hades says.
Guest from Aether Gazer, correct? We haven't met. Interesting. Always on the search for new talent, aren't they? We haven't admitted new members to our ranks for quite some time. Oh my, where are my manners? Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Hades, president of the Association for the Appraisal of Unconventional Art, also known as the Society of Muses. I'm also the 7th member of Amorphi's highest council, the Astral Council.
Greetings! I'm verthandi, a member of the Overture Squad of Aether Gazer. And this is our administrator. It's our first time at the Artists' ceremony. We really appreciate your invitation. I'm sure we have a lot to learn.
Oh, no need to be so formal. Make yourselves at home, please. And let me know if you need anything.
Really? Then, if it's all right, can I try one of those Amorphian rotating barbecues I heard about?
Of course, no problem. What an interesting kid. Luke, Mintha.
Yes, Lady Hades. Yes, Lady Hades.
Escort an Aeroy to the parlor, and then prepare a barbecue for our guest.
Shall we serve the barbecue with afternoon tea? It seems a little too... This is a command from Lady Hades.
The situation in Amorphes is somewhat delicate at the moment, my dear guests, particularly in regard to visitors from another Sapphire Zone. I suggest you have a Knight of Convallaria accompany you if you plan to go sightseeing.
What happened, Athena? Why are the knights surrounding the Society of Muses?
In recent weeks, multiple top-class art associations have been pilfered by unknown thieves. Many priceless works have gone missing. The knights have been posted to all the associations, not just the Society of Muses.
Works have gone missing? Why haven't I heard about this?
There have been no injuries or casualties, although some association staff was knocked unconscious, so we've elected not to publicize the thefts in the interest of the coming ceremony.
So you realized you couldn't stop the thefts, and then you decided to panic?
Actually, this is something we can help with too, right, Admin?
It would be wonderful if our distinguished guests from Aether Gazer could lend their assistance. Please, continue, Athena.
The Knights of Convallaria have not apprehended the perpetrator, but we have found a reliable eyewitness. Come in, Ron. This young man reached out to us. He happened to be in the Society of Sculptures during a theft. All other witnesses claim no memory of the attacker. For some reason, he can still describe its face and appearance.
The thieves weren't human. They were like some kind of monsters. They were carrying spears and growling. It seems like a dream. It's hard for me to imagine that it really happened. I was so scared. I just can't believe it.
You're Ron, right? You don't look like an association staff. What were you doing there yesterday when it was closed?
Honored Senator, I'm a grade 4 drawing student at Stellaris Academy. I'd been practicing for the certification exam all day and ended up falling asleep last night.
Lady Hades, I have Miss Oneroy with me. She still seems sleepy. Drowsy. Ron?
Yes, Oneroy, it's me.
There are no classes today. Why is Ron here? It must be another dream. It's not really Ron. Drowsy, let's go back to sleep.
Huh? Hold on. I am Ron, your classmate.
Oh, so I am awake?
She is Oneroy. She's gifted with extraordinary talents relating to dreams and memory. Unfortunately, her ability to control her talents has not kept pace with the powers themselves. Oneroy has been responsible for several local incidents. So, for everyone's safety, she needs to get more sleep than is otherwise typical.
Oneroy? I remember now! The cryptics mentioned her many times in the maintenance reports on the Dream System.
That's because the dream system was developed by simulating Oneroy's natural abilities. Even today, it has a little more than 1/10 of the power that Oneroy herself could summon.
We're terribly sorry for the intrusion, Miss Oneroy. But we need to borrow your powers to enter Ron's dreamscape and find out who's behind these thefts.
Dreams are simply a reordering of existing fragments of memory. Can we assemble a workable dreamscape from a particular slice of memory?
Okay, I think I get it.
That's Athena, me, and our 2 visitors from Aether Gazer. Would you like to help as well, Hera?
I suppose.
Much appreciated.
But only because I want to put an end to this whole nonsense. I don't want you and your boorish knights bothering us for a moment longer than necessary.
Ron, sit here. The author of the dreamscape should sit in the middle. Anyone else who wants to enter the dream can sit next to him. You can start, Oneroy.
Are you nervous, Ron? Your hands are sweating.
Will everyone be able to see my memories, Oneroy? I mean, all of them?
Mm-hmm. Are there some things you don't want us to see, Ron?
Everybody has personal matters.
Okay, Ron. Just think back to the things you want to share with us. Drowsy will make sure we avoid any other memories.
Thank you, Oneroy.
Drowsy can see that you haven't been sleeping well, Ron.
I'm worried about my exam. It's my last chance this year. If I don't get in, I'll be ruined. I'll be nothing.
I understand. So that's why you've been having so many strange dreams.
Strange dreams?
Don't worry about it. Drowsy won't look at them. Because we've made an agreement about that, Ron. So, Ron, you can, think about what happened yesterday.
Yesterday, I got up early because I've used up all my paints and paper. I had to buy new materials.
Drowsy uses up paints really quickly, too. I have to get Minta and Luke to buy me more.
I saw some Knights of Convallaria when I went out for supplies. They were asking the shop owners I'm so sleepy.
Mm-hmm. Well then, sweet dreams, Ron.
I'm getting really tired, Edmund.
Is this Democritus Boulevard?
Ron says he bought his painting supplies from a shop here, before heading to the Society of Sculptures.
Are we in the dream yet? Amazing, Oneroy. I can't believe we all ended up in the same dream. Look, it's Ron.
I'll follow him.
Wait, don't rush anything. We're intruders on his dreamscape. You'll be kicked out if he sees you.
This way. Time works funny in dreams. We just have to wait until evening, when Ron spots the intruder.
Isn't that Oneroy's toy?
That's Drowsy. It's trying really hard to construct the dream.
No need to be surprised. Oneroy can do anything she wants here. Just accept it and move on.
Okay.
We're far enough. Let's follow him.
Halt! Identify yourself, please.
You don't recognize me? I'm your commander, Athena. Even if you're a complete newcomer, you must have participated in the investiture ceremony. I have official business here. Let me through. Can you not understand me? Waste my time anymore and I will... What?
What you doing? Don't just stand there. Fight back.
But...
In the dreamscape created by Oneroy, if the author of the dreamscape are rejecting outsiders deep in their heart, the dream would try to expel us. And that seems to be precisely what's happening.
Hera...
Huh. Look at you, just standing there. If you're too shocked to respond, I'll be happy to handle them all on my own. After all that, will we still be able to observe the theft?
Don't worry. It's fine as long as Ron didn't notice all this.
What Oneroy means is that the dreamscape will only be limited within a short range around the dreamer, and the part that deviates too much from the memory of the dreamer will be corrected soon.
Ron is indeed practicing in the sculpture gallery behind that door. He said earlier that the thief came late at night. Presumably, we'll have to hang around for a while.
Athena, did you know that Oceanus doesn't even cut his steak? His servant does it for him.
I had no idea.
The people from the Society of Sculptures tell me that Enlil has to give him lots of napkins when serving lunch, because he always makes a huge mess.
I was not aware of that.
One time, he was trying to trim the plants in his garden, and you know what happened? He had no idea how, even though he loves having an enormous garden.
Good morning. What time is it? Oh, right! We've been here since late afternoon. Wait, that means 5 hours have passed, right? I'm really hungry. Try to recite the words, I'm full, over and over in your head. I'm full. I'm full. Huh. Fascinating. I don't think I'm hungry anymore. That's because we're in a dreamscape. In reality, you're asleep on a sofa in the society. Huh. I can't believe that boy has been sitting there drawing all this time.
I heard he'll be 16 this year. Most people who fail the exam 4 times would have left Stellaris Academy by now.
16? Is that important?
In Amorphes, anyone who doesn't get a certification from a decent art association by 16 can never work as a publicly accepted artist. That means no stable income, or at least the artwork will be viewed with suspicion. Their family probably won't support them anymore, and they'll have to change careers. This is a crucial age for a lot of people.
Oh, no wonder he's trying so hard. But don't you think that rule may be over strict?
It has a lot to do with Omorphi's history. Yes, we may be rejecting some talented late bloomers, but Omorphes cannot afford a repeat of the past, whatever the cost. Ron falls asleep.
Ron's working too hard.
Hey, admin. I think the description of those monsters sounds a lot like visbanes. But what would motivate a visbane to steal artwork?
Here they come.
It really is a visbane.
What's going on?
We have to save him.
Don't be stupid. Did you forget it's just a dream? Whatever happened here has already happened yesterday.
The visbanes don't seem the least bit interested in Ron, but focus on overturning and smashing one exhibit after another. Their methods are crude and destructive, but they seem to be searching for something. Do you think we could find out who's controlling them?
No way. Ron is terrified. The dream is getting smaller.
I can't believe visbanes would actually want to steal something. And art at that.
Perhaps they're developing higher order desires, like an appreciation for fine art.
Oh, really?
Just kidding. I heard that Aether Gazer just confirmed the existence of cognizant visbane, a higher grade that can issue commands to lower-level visbanes. Something like the leader of a pack. No wonder you really wanted to enter that dreamscape. It looks like the visbanes are destroying the exhibits because someone ordered them to find something. If there really is a cognizant visbane in Amorphes, then our situation just got much more serious.
Every association is now being guarded by the Knights. We are sure to apprehend them unless all the thefts have already been completed.
Years ago, you told me that you'd rather be a Convallaria knight than go after visbanes. Well, it looks like fate has taken the choice out of your hands.
My knights will respond to any threat with courage and honor, whether it be visbane or human. And I would be very grateful for any assistance the Society of Muses can offer.
Lady Hera, what is Lady Hades saying? Lady Athena is also a modifier, and she has not forgotten her powers and what they mean, unlike some. And yet, somehow, even though Athena is aware of the threats to Gaia, she would still rather lead her silly knights. She rejected Hades' invitation to the Society of Muses so she could proudly strut around with her beloved knights around the antiques in Stellaris Temple.
No wonder you two are not terribly close.
My differences with Athena extend far beyond her refusal to join the Society of Muses.
Ladies, miss, dear guests, afternoon tea is served, as well as a rotating barbecue as requested.
You didn't have to mention that, Luke.
It really is a barbecue! Let me see!
Excuse me, honored guest. Please allow me.
That's all right. I can do it myself.
Well, well. Let her do it, Luke. Is he still asleep?
Yes, the dreamscape has already collapsed. He's just sleeping because he's very tired. Carry him to the guest bedroom, Luke. And Miss Aneroy, don't sleep on the floor. You'll get cold. Oh, I want Minda to carry me.
This is a common sight in the Society of Muses. Would you please make your way, everyone, to the dining room for afternoon tea?
After all that, will we still be able to observe the theft?
Don't worry. It's fine as long as Ron didn't notice all this.
What Oneroy means is that the dreamscape will only be limited within a short range around the dreamer, and the part that deviates too much from the memory of the dreamer will be corrected soon.
Ron is indeed practicing in the sculpture gallery behind that door. He said earlier that the thief came late at night. Presumably, we'll have to hang around for a while.
Athena, did you know that Oceanus doesn't even cut his steak? His servant does it for him.
I had no idea.
The people from the Society of Sculptures tell me that Enlil has to give him lots of napkins when serving lunch, because he always makes a huge mess.
I was not aware of that.
One time, he was trying to trim the plants in his garden, and you know what happened? He had no idea how, even though he loves having an enormous garden.
Good morning. What time is it? Oh, right! We've been here since late afternoon. Wait, that means 5 hours have passed, right? I'm really hungry.
Try to recite the words, "I'm full," over and over in your head.
I'm full. I'm full. Huh. Fascinating. I don't think I'm hungry anymore.
That's because we're in a dreamscape. In reality, you're asleep on a sofa in the society. Huh. I can't believe that boy has been sitting there drawing all this time.
I heard he'll be 16 this year. Most people who fail the exam 4 times would have left Stellaris Academy by now.
16? Is that important?
In Amorphes, anyone who doesn't get a certification from a decent art association by 16 can never work as a publicly accepted artist. That means no stable income, or at least the artwork will be viewed with suspicion. Their family probably won't support them anymore, and they'll have to change careers. This is a crucial age for a lot of people.
Oh, no wonder he's trying so hard. But don't you think that rule may be over strict?
It has a lot to do with Omorphi's history. Yes, we may be rejecting some talented late bloomers, but Omorphes cannot afford a repeat of the past, whatever the cost. Ron falls asleep.
Ron's working too hard.
Hey, admin. I think the description of those monsters sounds a lot like visbanes. But what would motivate a visbane to steal artwork?
Here they come.
It really is a visbane.
What's going on?
We have to save him.
Don't be stupid. Did you forget it's just a dream? Whatever happened here has already happened yesterday.
The visbanes don't seem the least bit interested in Ron, but focus on overturning and smashing one exhibit after another. Their methods are crude and destructive, but they seem to be searching for something. Do you think we could find out who's controlling them?
No way. Ron is terrified. The dream is getting smaller.
I can't believe visbanes would actually want to steal something. And art at that.
Perhaps they're developing higher order desires, like an appreciation for fine art.
Oh, really?
What do you think? Someone is obviously controlling them. Don't be ridiculous, rookie.
Just kidding. I heard that Aether Gazer just confirmed the existence of cognizant visbane, a higher grade that can issue commands to lower-level visbanes. Something like the leader of a pack. No wonder you really wanted to enter that dreamscape. It looks like the visbanes are destroying the exhibits because someone ordered them to find something. If there really is a cognizant visbane in Amorphes, then our situation just got much more serious.
Every association is now being guarded by the Knights. We are sure to apprehend them unless all the thefts have already been completed.
Years ago, you told me that you'd rather be a Convallaria knight than go after visbanes. Well, it looks like fate has taken the choice out of your hands.
My knights will respond to any threat with courage and honor, whether it be visbane or human. And I would be very grateful for any assistance the Society of Muses can offer.
Lady Hera, what is Lady Hades saying? Lady Athena is also a modifier, and she has not forgotten her powers and what they mean, unlike some. And yet, somehow, even though Athena is aware of the threats to Gaia, she would still rather lead her silly knights. She rejected Hades' invitation to the Society of Muses so she could proudly strut around with her beloved knights around the antiques in Stellaris Temple.
No wonder you two are not terribly close.
My differences with Athena extend far beyond her refusal to join the Society of Muses.
Ladies, miss, dear guests, afternoon tea is served, as well as a rotating barbecue as requested. You didn't have to mention that, Luke.
It really is a barbecue! Let me see!
Excuse me, honored guest. Please allow me.
That's all right. I can do it myself.
Well, well. Let her do it, Luke. Is he still asleep?
Yes, the dreamscape has already collapsed. He's just sleeping because he's very tired.
Carry him to the guest bedroom, Luke. And Miss Roy, don't sleep on the floor. You'll get cold.
Oh, I want Minda to carry me.
This is a common sight in the Society of Muses. Would you please make your way, everyone, to the dining room for afternoon tea?
What do you mean, regrets? What are you saying? You haven't hurt anyone. It's just a question of weighing the pros and cons. Giving up now will mean all our efforts have gone to waste. That's a huge exaggeration. Believe me, okay? We've all been through this before.
Huh? Aren't you sleeping upstairs?
No, someone has to stand guard. I'll be fine keeping watch on my own tonight.
Don't overthink it. I'm just going to get a cup of tea. Why do you always look so worried?
Oh? I do?
Ever since I came downstairs, you've been gripping your sword and muttering to yourself, haven't you?
I want to catch whoever is responsible for this as soon as possible. There are also some matters to deal with after the ceremony.
And what will you do if nothing happens tonight?
The Knights have prepared a 24-hour guard for all the associations, and it will continue until the ceremony has ended.
And what if you can't catch the perpetrator? Will the council postpone the ceremony?
I won't allow that to happen. We've never done that in a whole century, and we're not about to start.
You may be right. Postponing the ceremony will cause quite a stir. I'd rather avoid that. What's the look? Do you think I just want to make life hard for you, no matter what you say?
No, I've just always thought you despise me for some reason.
You're not entirely wrong on that. This cello was used by Artasis himself. It is called Dawn. I put it in an exhibit after realizing I would never be able to play it as it deserves. Do you still play?
Occasionally, when I'm not too busy.
How about a fiddle with it? Oh, silly question. I've never heard of you playing the cello in front of anyone since you beat me at that event. You won, and then you quit. That's cheeky. Here.
Thank you. It's delicious.
Very few people get to drink a cup of tea made by me, personally. You know, you should really... What is that?
The lobby. Convallaria, prepare for combat! You shall not disturb the ceremony!
No! It's trying to get away!
Luke, Minta.
Understood. Block it, Luke. And then you, Minta. Smash it. It's done. Straight out of a comet. Very cool, Minta. Don't think you quite pulled off the landing. Pity. Lady Hades!
I overslept. Apologies. But it looks like I didn't miss anything.
Fine.
Commander!
How are things outside?
Only slight injuries. And then they disappeared. It was almost like they entered a space we couldn't access.
So, they were all controlled by this visbane.
But we still have no idea why visbanes are stealing art. And where is all the stolen art?
It's already over.
Huh?
As the individual controlling them was eliminated, the rest of them won't continue their operations. I think we can conclude that the danger is over, and that Omorphes is safe for the time being. Notify the other knights that the thief has been brought to justice. Tonight will be the last night of the lockdown.
Hold on a moment. There are still a lot of unanswered questions. For example, why target the associations? What were they looking for? Don't you need some answers to conclude it's over?
The knights are not detectives. We will leave that task to others.
My goodness, what I mean is, we need to investigate before concluding anything. Otherwise, we might be falling into our opponent's trap. And you're forgetting what they told us. We had reports of a cognizant visbane, and the one we just vanquished was not terribly intelligent.
I refused to waste manpower during the ceremony because of a few unconfirmed intel.
Hades?
I can't deny that there is something fishy about the whole thing. But the knights are the keepers of the peace. I am not. So I will allow them the final word on this matter.
And isn't this the very thing you desire, Hera? An end to the Knights' lockdown over the Society of Muses?
You place us all under a snap lockdown and then suddenly release it. Your attitude is impossible. We've just won a major victory. So why does it feel like things have only gotten worse? An oddly sophisticated observation, Administrator.
Today has been difficult indeed. Thank you all for your assistance. The Knights of Convallaria must now be off.
Athena became the leader of the Knights of Convallaria when she was only 16 years old. She did so by challenging her brother Argo, the leader at the time, during the Knights tournament, claiming he was cheating. And she won. It was another astounding achievement in Athena's career. She had already become the youngest knight ever at 9 years old. The Knights of Convallaria changed a lot under Athena's leadership. For example, those deemed unsuitable or too old were relieved from their ranks. She did this to ensure that the knights stayed ready to face evil and corruption wherever it was found. After these changes, the Knights investigators started solving many more cases. Coric's analysis says that Omorphes now has the lowest crime rate in all the zones, thanks to the Knights' strict maintenance of law and order. The other stories are more like rumors. When Colleen Pallas of the illustrious Pallas family died, her grandnephew Argo became head of the family. And he kicked Athena out of the family and stripped her of the Pallas name after the Knights tournament. Sheesh! He was just getting back at her because she ended up taking over his power.
Breakfast is served in the dining room, honored guests.
Today we have a selection of pancakes made with dairy milk, pumpkin,
and yellow bean soup, and Stellaris sausages, all carefully curated by Mintha, who is eagerly awaiting your feedback.
You talk too much, Luke. A chauffeur will pick you up after breakfast.
A chauffeur? Where are we going?
Oh, I didn't have time to tell you. These next few days will be hectic with the opening of the ceremony just around the corner. The Knights have lifted all lockdowns, so now things are mostly back to normal. This means that, as one of the council members, I will be extremely busy. So, I would like to play the role of consummate host today, while I still have time, and that means a visit to the Stellaris Academy.
The Stellaris Academy? That's...
The greatest art school in all of Amorphes, and the seat of the Astral Council. Assuming the customary schedule is followed, the Artists' ceremony will be held again in the Grand Square of the Stellaris Academy.
Technically, we built the Academy and the offices on top where the ceremony first took place, but it's basically the same.
Administrator and verthandi, you are both in for a real treat. Ooh. Since you have Senator Hades with you, I think you're going to see a lot more of the Academy than most people.
Aether Gazer's AI is cutting edge, I see. You seem to know a lot about Amorphes. The ceremony has been held 19 times already. It displays the wonders of Amorphes to other Sapphire zones, and it encourages the associations to pursue excellence by competing with each other. The winners get lifelong riches and prestige, and the best works in each category are honored with a permanent display in the Academy's collection, the Stellaris Temple.
Oh, sounds impressive. Lady Hades, can we have a look at the collection?
The collection is only open to the public twice a year, in February and October, but I believe we can make an exception for guests who have traveled so far.
Yay! Wow, it's like a palace out of a history book.
The lobby is filled with some of the lesser pieces. Inside, there is an area for each of the various arts. So what catches your fancy today? Painting? Sculpture? Dance recordings and costumes?
It's a tough call. There's no way we can visit all of them today, can we? I wish I was a Stellaris Academy student. I could spend as much time as I want here, learning and living.
That might be because you're accompanied by a senator. One of the senators who brought Amorphes out of the dark times and re-established the orderly society we have today.
Oh my, it's Oceanus. Good morning.
The Council is the embodiment of precision and correctness. Thus, it naturally receives significant respect. Even the least of the senators is honored in public because she holds a council seat. But there are times when such a senator forgets her proper place and responsibilities.
Good morning, Lady Hades. Apologies. Father is not deliberately ignoring you, but once he begins one of his critical tirades, he never stops.
I know.
It's hard to find another person who's spent so long learning the arts without anything to show for it. You'd think such a person would have learned something of dignity. Good morning, Hades.
Seems like a very serious person.
Let me introduce the third senator, Oceanus. You can consider him my colleague. And this is his son, Enlil.
Son?
Adopted son. They're also modifiers.
Good day to you. I heard we had 2 visitors all the way from Einsof. I hope you very much enjoy your stay in Amorphous.
As for you, Hades, Athena told me that the thieves were brought to justice in the Society of Muses. Now that the issue is resolved, I hope the ceremony will start on time. Then all the delayed works must be dealt with as soon as possible.
Yes, indeed.
You haven't seemed very interested in the preparations, but you must have heard about all the problems, of course. And as one of the overseers, you can hardly wait until tomorrow before resuming work. But who am I talking to? I hadn't hoped that you would take this as seriously as I do. I just thought I'd try since I heard that you were visiting. Let's go, Enlil.
Yes, Father. I'm sorry, but my father is under tremendous pressure. Normally, he's quite pleasant.
All right then, let us continue.
It's incredible! I don't know the first thing about art, but I still think every piece is extraordinary. I can feel the inspiration from each sculptor poured into their work. I feel like each one is trying to say something.
It seems that you are more of a feeling type.
Oh, I'm just saying things as they come.
No harm in that. Every person comes at a piece of art with their own interpretation. Once a work is completed, we can't say that the right of final interpretation always belongs to the artist. This collection contains the best art produced over many decades, and that guarantees that each artist pulled in something of themselves.
I'm curious about something. If there are so many talented people in Amorphis, why do you have to pass an exam by age 16? Doesn't that exclude all the late bloomers? And what exactly is this past you referred to?
Verthandi, why do you think there are all these associations? Also the Stellaris Academy and Artis's Ceremony. Do you think it's to encourage people to go into art?
Isn't it?
On the contrary, we are imposing order on society to limit what artists can do. We are, in effect, controlling the pathways artists can take in their development. Amorphis was a very different place a century ago. We had many talented artists back then. Perhaps more than even today. The old artists produced artwork that, with Korg's approval, could be sold in the other zones around Gaia, and it fetched a high price. It was profitable for Amorphis, and it brought tremendous riches and prestige. But this is where the problems began. The art industry became so lucrative that it destabilized the economy. Everyone wanted to be an artist. Everyone wanted to auction their works in other zones. and that became a problem for essential industries and everyday life in Amorphes. It was also a problem for the artistic spirit, and for artistic integrity. People got embroiled in disputes between different schools at parties, and the battle for supremacy, prestige, and power soon became more important than the works themselves. Naturally, when the artistic spirit was corrupted, it hurt the quality of the works being sold. That's just a summary of what happened all these years. Behind Amorphe's happy exterior, I assure you, a price has been paid. A lot of sacrifices, I would say. Many of my fellows dedicated their lives so that Amorphians today live better than their grandparents.
Lady Hades.
All right then. We're just about done with the sculptures, yes? Let me take you to some other areas.
By the way, what about these suits of armor? Are they part of the exhibit?
They are not, actually. Although one would be forgiven for thinking so, as they are very well crafted. They are, in fact, part of our security system.
Security system? It doesn't look like any security system I've ever seen.
They are custom security AGI mechas from a supplier in New Hansa. You can say hello if you want.
Good day, tourist. Is there anything I can help you with?
That was Oceanus's suggestion. He thought that a museum of this caliber deserved more than an old-school security system. Most visitors barely notice them. They're just part of the background.
I see.
Is there anything you need? Is there unidentified intruders detected?
I had a feeling that was gonna happen. Just like the admin.
What's going on?
Oh, you're right. The knights reported sounds of battle, so I hurried over.
We're fine, but would you look at this? Miss Athena, it's certain now that the thief is still at large.
Huh? What do you mean?
They just told me these mechas malfunctioned because of visbanial corruption.
We dealt with mechas like this in New Hansa. I know visbane corruption when I see it.
I don't sense any visbane aura.
Why else would they attack?
Did you file your visit with security prior to entry? Maybe there's an issue with the threat identification process.
No way! Visbane corrupted AGI mechas are much more likely to.
I saw what happened to Spielt on the news, but we didn't order these mechas from them. In any case, we'll return these ones for a safety check and run a diagnostic on the others. I think that should be enough.
Are you sure that's how you want to handle this, Athena?
Yes, I am sure, Senator Hades. Don't worry. We'll make sure nothing happens during the ceremony.
Then I'll leave the rest of it to you.
Admin, what shall we do?
So sorry you had to go through that. The Knights of Convallaria will take it from here. Oh, you're right. The Knight...
Did you find it? Did you find it?
Not yet. There are too many books here, and their categorization is like a riddle.
No worries. They're completely distracted by recent events anyway. You have as much time as you need.
Yes! The jewelry collection is here. Well, but it's too high up.
There's a ladder over there.
Uh-huh.
Have a look and be quick about it. Does it contain what we want?
The most legendary precious stones in Amorphi's history. In no particular order, the Crimson Fireglass, the Sand Jewel, the Ocean Eye.
Luke, did you hear something? Luke didn't. I thought I heard voices in the library. At this hour? Could it be mice? Mice? You still haven't gotten over your fear of mice, have you? You really should clean more if you don't want strange animals taking up residence. But Luke has done an excellent job of cleaning recently. Don't worry about it. Minta will have a look for Luke. Thank you, Minta.
The Cursed Greenstone, dissolver of alliances and ender of friendships. Given into Artisus's care after the ceremony and used to decorate a statue. Formal name, Medusa. It was a valuable keepsake in the early days when the Alliance was first formed. It must be that one. But where is that statue?
Who's that?
Let's get out of here. Someone's coming.
Oh, it really is a mouse. I think Luke can pay for that desk. After all, it's her fault she didn't clean better.
Don't worry. Just stay calm. She didn't find you.
But what if she'd hit this table?
She's very violent. How about this? I will deal with her next.
Huh?
Minta is good. I caught another mouse.
Don't just sit there, run!
Have you caught it, Minta? Not a mouse. A book thief.
I'm not a thief.
That's a relief. It's only the mice that bothers Luke. Actually, there is one. Over there. You don't mean that it's... Get back! Get back! You get back, you thing! Sorry. I didn't have time to take it outside. I just covered it. It's all right, Luke. Just don't ruin the mop. What's wrong, Luke? We found a mouse, Miss Oneroy. And we also caught a book thief. Mice are scary. Mice used to bite Drowsy's ears before. It's okay. Everything's gonna be all right. Who's the book thief? It's... Ron?
Yes, it's me, Oneroy. Ouch! Tell her to let me go!
You can't be so harsh with Ron, Minta. Ron is a friend of mine. Also, you just met him a few days ago. Oh, yes, you're right. That explains why he looks so familiar. But even if he is a friend of Miss Oneroy's, that doesn't explain why he's poking around the library at this hour.
It's because...
That you're nervous, Kingsley. That's all you need to say.
Because my big exam is tomorrow. And I'm so nervous I can't sleep. So I wanted Oneroy to help me. You can put anyone to sleep, right, Oneroy? Just like that other day?
Yes. Why not just ring the front doorbell? And why go straight to the library?
The front door wasn't locked, so I just came in. And then I wasn't sure where to go, so I ended up here. The society building is just massive. I don't know where anything is. I was walking around and I just got lost.
It was Luke's job to lock up and clean. But the I suppose there may have been some oversights.
That's all right, Ron. You can sleep here tonight. I know you're a fantastic painter, Ron, and you didn't notice it yourself.
Thank you, Oneiroi.
You'll be able to paint just the way you want tomorrow, as long as you get some good sleep. And you'll definitely pass your exam.
I'll be able to paint what I want.
Drowsy, give Ron a seed of dreams.
Oneiroi, I'm so sorry. I don't think I have what it takes. But I have to pass this exam.
The Knights of Convallaria are the living embodiment of our society's justice, order, honor, loyalty, and any other positive things you can think of. But the Knights manifest another important quality, and that is the virtue of sacrifice. Those who grip the sword too tight may find it difficult to reach for anything else, and sometimes the sword may even hurt its own wielder.
You won. Of course you won. Is this how you repay the family that took you in? By exposing your brother's mistakes? By besmirching the head of the great and noble Pallas family, your family, as a cheater? Does that smell like victory to you? I haven't seen you defeated since you were a girl. Haven't you won enough? At the end of the day, what exactly do you want to win after all?
What could a promise mean from someone in your position, and your age anyway? But I'm so sorry. There was no other way.
What a shame, Athena. Now you have nothing. No family, no kin, no passions, no friends. Nothing.
I'll have to leave all that in your hands. I'm sorry. Were you having a nightmare, Commander? Apologies for the intrusion, but I saw your door was unlocked.
It's all right. What happened?
We received the results for the AGI mecha we returned to the manufacturer. They say it's all clear. I have the report here if you'd like to read it.
Just put it there. Thank you.
Yes. And, Commander, I couldn't help noticing you haven't taken a day off recently. We can probably put the thefts behind us now.
I was just having a bit of shut-eye. Don't worry, it won't affect my work.
I don't mean that. I mean... Sorry for the intrusion, Commander.
A bit lower, please, Father? I should put a stool in the office. It's hard with my height.
I don't want to be working late every night at the academy, but I can't rely on my dear colleague to do what needs to be done.
Hasn't Lady Hades been helpful over the last 2 days?
Compared to 10 years ago, I suppose she isn't causing as much trouble.
Everything is done now. If only I could grow a bit taller.
You will. You're still young.
Father, modifiers stop growing, don't they? After their awakening? You told me that.
I forgot.
Sorry, am I interrupting?
No, not really. We just finished.
How I envy you. I wish my children were as understanding as Enlil.
Please, don't flatter me, Lady Hades. Lady Hera is a world-famous critic, and Mintha and Luke are first-rate housekeepers. And not to mention Oneroy. She can be quite adorable at times.
Let's go, Hades. We can't be late to the opening ceremony.
Exactly why I'm here so early. How do you plan to get there? In Enlil's carriage?
I can sit for my driver's license next year.
Bronze mirror, silver coin, tulip bloom. The blind poet's treasure scattered around the room. The blind poet's treasure. I'm surprised that the Aegis' final components are buried in this temple. But it has to be that way, right? The final stage in every video game takes place in a grand, tightly guarded palace, doesn't it?
This isn't a game. Aladdin, do you really think no one's going to notice us? The Academy will be crawling with people on the first day of the ceremony.
And that's exactly why no one will notice us here. With everyone at the square, security here will be quite relaxed.
Unable to identify unregistered visitors. Please display your personal identification to avoid activating alarms.
See? Yesterday's plan seems to have worked. Almost all of the guards have been sent in for repairs. Huh! Let's go. You're not going to have a problem with only a few guards, are you?
You can do it, Shady.
All right, it won't do any good if you get hurt over there. Just find somewhere to hide, please.
Attention! Only 20 minutes to go. This is also the centennial of the ceremony's founding. We Knights of Convallaria are here to uphold our integrity and honor, and ensure that nothing goes amiss.
Yes, sir! For the duty and honor of Convallaria!
Commander, are you going to inspect again?
I don't need to. I trust you'll do a good job. Tell everyone to head to the designated patrol points.
Understood. We'll follow the previous arrangements. Jonas will be assigned to District A, Lowen to District B, I will take District C, and the commander will oversee general security for the ceremony.
I'm sorry, Koros, but Nellie will be in charge of District C.
Huh?
I need you to take charge of Academy Square for now. Is that all right?
Of course, but why? The ceremony is about to begin.
There is something I need to investigate. Unlikely, but I must be sure.
Very well. I shall not inquire further.
I'll return before the opening ceremony ends. You'll be in charge of the area until then.
One of the books in the archive room spoke of how, a long time ago, Amorphis was divided into city-states. The leaders brought priceless artifacts from each city-state to form a greater alliance. These artifacts were the bronze mirror Aegis, the first silver coin ever minted in Amorphis, the eternal tulip, and another legendary item, the lost gemstone of the gods. But the alliance didn't last. It disintegrated, sparking a terrible conflict and causing people to think the gemstone cursed. There was something about the gemstone that people couldn't resist. All who came to possess it were swallowed by misfortune, and yet none could bear to part with it. The gemstone passed from hand to hand in this unhappy way for over a millennium. Eventually, it landed in the lap of the great artist Artasis. Artasis decided to create the world's greatest sculpture from it. In the last decades of his life, he shut himself in his study. He finished his masterpiece, but died sad and alone, the last victim of the cursed gemstone. Because of this curse, Artasis wrote in his will that his masterpiece should never be shown to the public. Instead, it was to be kept under lock and key, hidden away forever in the Stellaris Temple.
Ta-da! Looks like the riddle of the gemstone turned statue has been solved by the brilliant young detective Ladin. And the statue I'm referring to is right in front of us! The statue of Medusa!
We finally made it, Ladon. After all this time.
Yes, yes! We did it, Ron! I always knew you could do it. You're as good as anyone else. You are the best!
Thank you, Ladon. Before I met you, I could barely paint in my exams without my trembling hands getting in my way.
Yep.
I would have never been able to pass the exam without you, without your advice. And I couldn't have overcome all these obstacles to come here and set you free.
Oh yes, I know. There's just one last step. Remove the covering from the statue so that I can leave this mirror.
I don't have many friends, you know. I'm so shy. I can barely talk to my own classmates at the academy. I've never been able to talk to anyone like I talk to you.
Yep, I consider you the best friend I've ever met too. Now remove the covering so you can release your best friend.
Ladin, you have to visit me often after you leave. You too, Shady. I'll give a whole exhibition on you and our friendship, once I make it as an artist.
Cool, I'm really looking forward to that. Can you please remove the covering?
Okay, so let's just...
Halt!
Huh?
I knew it!
One more step, and I'll plunge this sword straight into your heart.
Miss Athena.
Stay right there. Answer me. Who destroyed the guards outside? Why are you here? Who are you talking to?
I didn't do anything wrong, Miss Athena. Hear me out.
I told you, don't move a muscle.
I'm so sorry.
What have you got in your hands?
It's just a mirror.
Come here. Give it to me.
Okay.
Don't give it to her! It has the silver coin in the tulip we stole! Have you forgotten? There's no way you could justify it!
Ron?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Miss Athena. I can't give it to you. Please. Believe me. I haven't really done anything wrong. I was just helping a friend.
Run! Run!
I'm so sorry, Miss Athena.
Thank you for your applause, ladies and gentlemen. Next, we would like to call our sponsor to the stage. He is the president of the Society of Sculptors and the third senator of the Astral Council. Please give a round of applause for Mr. Catalan.
We're up, Father.
Right. Today's ceremony is held in honor and memory of Amorphi's greatest artist, Odysseus. He is the one who, during one of the darkest periods of our history, guided us back to the light with his extraordinary talents. The ceremony will be a proving ground for our contestants' talents, a gallery of arts that Odysseus himself would take pride in. The Council hereby bestows its blessing upon the talented participants in our ceremony. Also, those of lesser talent should at this point consider their chances nil. Why has Amorphes been the artistic capital of the world for over a century? Because of our strict institutions and principles that aspire toward ever greater excellence. Generations of the world's greatest artists have sat exams in this very square and refined their talents over decades in search of perfection. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are invited on the same journey taken by the luminaries before us, to witness the beginning of Amorphes' glory and an even grander future. My wish is for all contestants to exhibit the same extraordinary skill for which you have been selected. I wish all of you a successful and fulfilling journey. It is my honor to announce, on behalf of the Astral Council, that the 20th Odysseus ceremony has officially opened.
In your own inimitable style, Master Oceanus.
Thank you.
By the way, do you know where Athena is? I haven't been able to find her anywhere. On an important day like this, shouldn't she be overseeing Square security?
I haven't seen her around.
Now that is strange.
It's Athena!
Why do you have in your hands the very items stolen from the societies? Are you responsible?
It wasn't me! I was just helping a friend!
She won't be convinced by that. She's going to kill you for sure. Ron, do you trust me?
Laden?
Let me take control of your body. I know a way out of this.
But I've always listened to you.
I'm just asking you to hand your body over for a little while, wholly and completely. Don't hold anything back. Trust me, absolutely, and there's a way we can survive this.
Of course I trust you.
Good. Keep the mirror close. Don't let it go, no matter what happens in the next few minutes. This may get a little uncomfortable, but all you have to do is hold on. Whatever you do, don't let go of the mirror.
Ron? Ron! What's going on?
Laden, I'm in so much pain, Laden. I think I'm going still.
Bane energy? Ron! No, you're not Ron. Who are you?
Well, if it isn't Commander Athena. Very pleased to make your acquaintance. My name is Laden, and Ron is indeed a friend of mine. I'm just an anonymous artist with just a little talent. And what, you might ask, is my talent? The talent of telling convincing little lies. Happy little lies. Rather than painting, I declare the true domain of my talents to be rhetoric.
Why did you steal those artifacts?
Steal? Nah, that's not true, I assure you. At most, I merely borrowed them. Because I have a mind to create a very beautiful artwork myself. Steal is too strong a word. What's more, I didn't perform any of the heists. And didn't I have Ron reveal the visbanes to you? I even sent you the perpetrator. I am speaking of Ron, of course. But we will have enough time to discuss the details after I finish my masterpiece. And then I will return Ron to you alive and well. How does that sound?
Despicable. Do you really expect me to negotiate with a monster like you?
Why not? After all, this isn't the first time we've worked together.
What in the blazes are you talking about?
I had Ron accuse those visbanes merely to misdirect your attention to those underlings, to ensure no one suspected Ron. That was it. It was such a silly little lie. just like claiming a glass ball to be a pearl. I didn't think there was a snowball's chance in hell you would buy it. But who would have thought? The lockdowns were lifted. It was a godsend, let me tell you. But you never really believed the lie, did you, Athena? Of course not. You couldn't be that stupid. But you didn't want to make a fuss before the big ceremony, did you? I knew the moment I'd laid eyes on you that you were someone full of contradictions. You were worried about the possibility that the council would delay or even cancel the ceremony. And so you were willing to grasp at straws if it ensured that the ceremony would open as planned. And then lightning struck twice. We had the issue with the AGI mechas, and yet again, I found a willing accomplice happy not to look behind the curtain. What a pity that your instincts eventually won out, and that you're not as stupid as you seem. What a pity, Athena. You could convince others, but you could never quite convince yourself, could you? You just had to come back for a second check.
Stop talking like that! You don't know a thing!
Oh my! You look positively furious. Are you angry at me, Athena?
Ah!
That was a close one! You are good, Athena. I wouldn't be your match until my seal is released. Nevertheless, you are quite out of sorts, aren't you, Athena? A confused mind leads to a clumsy sword. And now is my time to outwit you. What exactly makes your sword clumsy, Athena? It was something I said, right? Or it's that you just can't help but hold back from murdering my poor host, can you? Or... Ah, I get it now. Showtime.
No, no! What are you doing? These are...
Yes, I know. These are a century of Amorphi's greatest works, the winning artifacts of all previous Artisus ceremonies. Each one is an irreplaceable masterpiece. Yes, and yet I still want to destroy them. I want to destroy everything that you want to protect.
No. Stop!
Hey, servants, try harder, will you? Destroy them all. Right. How about a little heat in here?
No, no! I promised my grandmother we would protect this!
It's just terrible! Are you going to beg? Well, I'm not so hard-hearted. Beg, and I'll tell them to stop.
I beg you.
Oh?
Please, do not destroy any more of the temple. I beg you.
Bow your head when you apologize to me. All right, then. tricked you, didn't I? Oh, fallen asleep? What a shame. What with this seal and all. Otherwise, you'd be done for. That reminds me, there was something I was supposed to do. Finally. I really am quite brilliant. Who else could have done this on Master Turing's behalf? To Artus's credit, he made quite a masterpiece. Even here, it stands head and shoulders above the other artifacts. Ron told me the ancient tales. Anyone who locks eyes with Medusa is turned to stone. But not being human, I don't think I need to worry about that. So how did the gods defeat Medusa according to the legend? They used a mirror to reflect her own gaze back on her. She herself was then turned to stone. And here I am, doing the very same thing. Freedom! Freedom! The day has finally come! You can no longer imprison me, cursed mirror! Die! Die! Phew. Well, that was nice. All right then. And now for the Sapphira Core. Pardon me for helping myself to it.
Wow! Admin, look at that screen! What a picture! That's a live replay from the Painters Association. The association evaluates the best works produced in every 5-year period and put the best 10 forward for the ceremony to judge. It's quite a few, but paintings do get admitted to the temple more often than other works. Competition is extremely fierce.
I'm so tired.
Please persevere, milady. Lady Hades said that you must try to see the whole ceremony this year.
But I didn't even sleep for a full 20 hours yesterday. What?
What's wrong, milady?
How?
What happened, Oneroy?
The seed of dreams is collapsing. Is that real, Drowsy?
Who did you plant a seed of dreams into? Lady Hades didn't say you could do that, did she?
But Hades asked me to put one into Ron, and it's gone. It disappeared just now.
What's the Seed of Dreams?
Oneiroi can enter others' dreams. The seed greatly amplifies this ability, allowing her to observe a person's dreamscape whenever she wants to, no matter the distance. There's only a few ways a Seed of Dreams can be destroyed. When the person dies, when they are under visbane attack, or if a person enters the source layer.
None of those are good.
Oneiroi, can you sense where Ron is right now?
I can sense where his Seed of Dreams was before it began to weaken. It was over there.
It's the Stellaris Temple.
Am I dreaming? Is this the temple? No, this is all real. That guy ruined all this. Ruined the temple.
Athena?
Hera?
Is this the same temple we just visited? What happened?
I'm picking up a strong Bane energy signal nearby. I think a lot of visbanes just came through.
Athena, what happened?
I'm sorry. This was all my fault.
Huh? What do you mean?
The silver coin. The tulip. The stolen items.
Look at all the data stored by the mirror. Hold on, is that it? Does this object hold the coordinates of the Sapphira core? How's that even possible? Why would the coordinates be in a mirror? And judging from its state, someone has already used it!
Someone was manipulating Ron. A visbane called Ladon is the real mastermind behind the thefts and everything that's happened since.
Ladon? And where are they now?
I don't know. They were gone when I woke up.
The coordinates can open a doorway to the Sapphira core's location on the source layer. If a visbane really has the coordinates, then that's really, really bad news.
I'll open a gateway to the source layer with my access permissions.
No way! The coordinates have already been used. You won't be able to find the Sapphire core in the source layer unless you have them.
Well, we have to do something. We have to find it.
Drowsy thinks there might be another way. Okay. I see. The seed of dreams in Ron's body has disintegrated, but it still left a trail that can show me what path he's taken. We might be able to follow that trail.
And find their current location.
Yes, you're right. Drowsy will lead us.
Let's go!
Wait. How long are you just going to sit there? Did you hear any of that? If the visbanes get their hands on the Sapphire core, Amorphes is finished.
They've already destroyed everything I've ever wanted to protect.
What do you mean?
It was my fault for stopping the investigation early. I just didn't want anything to delay the ceremony. That allowed him to get exactly what he wanted, and let him destroy the temple.
That's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is, what are you going to do now?
The Knights of Convallaria exist to protect Amorphes society and artwork. The ceremony represents the beginning of a new order. The Stellaris Temple is the result of centuries of glorious, peaceful artistic development. And yet, here we are. The temple was destroyed under my watch during the very ceremony we swore to protect.
Enough. Feeling sorry for yourself won't change a thing. Is this how you react to adversity? By crawling into a corner and feeling sorry for yourself? You seem so confident in front of your knights. So disappointing. And who cares about the temple anyway? You already gave up your cello for a career in the Knights. Are you going to abandon this as well for just a few dead artifacts? This is ridiculous. Okay then. Stay here and die with your precious artwork.
Are we really just going to leave her?
If this is her attitude, she'd just get in the way anyway. Who cares?
Don't you want to call another family member, Grandmother?
That's all right. I've already said everything I wanted to say. I want to use my last remaining hours to talk to you alone.
We can talk once you recover. Grandmother?
How strange to hear that from you, Athena. You are always such an honest little girl. Can't you see that I don't have much time? Sometimes I wonder whether I was too harsh on you. The ceremony and the Astral Council have cleared the air in Amorphes. The Knights of Convallaria have become a sword and shield, protecting this illustrious land. People speak of the old days like myths, when we used to fight over everything. But they are not myths to me. They are memories. It is with eternal sadness that I recall how many flag bearers lost their lives on the battlefield. Those are the old days now. It's been over a century. Hardly anyone left. And I'm beginning to worry whether I can live up to what was expected of me.
That won't happen! Omorphes has the Knights of Convallaria. It has me! I will do everything I can to protect the new era given to us by our predecessors.
Oh, you really do remind me of myself when I was your age. I had dreams of raising you exactly how I was raised. I hoped you'd become like a second me, so that when I was gone, you would have command of the Knights of Convallaria. The times are always changing, and I don't know whether Morpheus will always need somebody like Colleen Pallas to guide us onto the right path. If only he was still here with us. I'm sure he could tell us what to do. I'm sure he could provide another way.
Grandmother!
I've taken such care in these last years to teach you all I know about fighting, about the mission of the Knights of Convallaria. That's the only thing in this world that I really understand. And so, it's no surprise that people used to think I had no sense of humor. They would say I take everything on myself. Before I go, I'd like to leave you with a few choice words, just like he did. I charge you to lead the Knights of Convallaria with strength and honor. Protect the Astral Council and the ceremony. This is what our predecessors left Omorphes. A shining foundation of glorious stability. But if one day this all disappears, that will not be the end. Where did the Knights of Convallaria come from, originally? From nothing. We had nothing. A place of destitution, surrounded by enemies on all sides. It may be difficult, but I believe that Omorphes will always vanquish the darkness, whatever form it takes. Because the people are honest and lead with an honest heart. So long as the desire of freedom and honesty remain, it does not matter how bad things get during an age of darkness. Sooner or later, a voice always calls everyone back to the light. Athena, when that time comes, it will be enough to tell right from wrong and to raise their swords for freedom and justice.
I shall remember that.
Thank you, Athena, and I'm sorry.
Grandmother. I remember now. It's not over. As long as there are people ready to defend the ideals of freedom and creativity, then the Knights of Convallaria still have reason to fight.
So, you've finally come to your senses.
Yes. Thank you for the reminder.
Oh, come off it. Couldn't miss a chance to give you a dressing down. And I took it.
Thank you, Hera.
I'm sure we can get the Sapphira core back with Commander Athena's help. Let's go, Admin!
Drowsy will lead us, following the crumbs left by the Seed of Dreams. Don't get lost.